Hello, beautiful people, and how are you all doing today? It's a beautiful Saturday evening, and I'm glad to be back. It is Saturday Live, and this is called the Parenting Essential with Oye. I want to be glad to see you, and I want to believe that you're glad to see me. All right, let me know if you're there. Let me know if I'm audible. Let me know if you can see me clearly, and let's quickly finish what we started last week. All right, if you are just joining or you're just seeing my face for the first time, it is Parenting Essential with Oye. Every Saturday live, we are here ready to hold hands to push forward our parenting journey. It's all about visionary parenting, and we are so intentional on this. All right, hello once again. I'm happy to see you. Please, if you're there and you can see me, please put on the comment section and let me know that you are there and you can see me. By JJ, I sight you there, sir. I hail you. Thank you for all you do. All right, last week I started a topic why your teenagers won't listen to you. And I'm going to be rounding up this topic quickly now. I just wish I finish up quickly. I want to run. All right, let me know if you're there. By JJ, am I audible? Who else is there? Well, very good, loud and clear. Thank you so much, sir. All right, I don't want to run through last week. However, if you were not here last week, I started a topic saying why your teenagers won't listen to you. If you are interested or you are part of today, I will advise you to go back and watch last week's video so that you can get full understanding, because I cited reasons why your teenagers will not listen to you. And I wouldn't want to recap to save our time, to save my time, because time is precious. All right. To start with, I want you to know that overall, that teenagers or teenage years, it's a challenging year. I cannot overemphasize this, that teenagers, this set of people, they are different human beings entirely. I'll say it over and again. This set of people, they are different human beings entirely. They are not adults. Neither are the children. They're just floating there. And what goes on in their head, in their psychology, it's totally different. It takes a skillful parent, a skillful parent to understand with them at this particular time of life. If not, it's going to always be a battleground. All right, it's a challenging time for them. Also, it can also be challenging for the parent, especially if you are not skilled, if you are not experienced, or if you were not prepared, or you are not prepared for that stage of your child's life. So, parenting a teenager without connection. I said that again. Last night was one of our webinars in the Visionary Hack. If you know any visioner, please ask them. Ask them, because the table was super hot last night. All right. Only a visioner will understand what I'm saying. Only a visioner will understand what I'm saying. Do I have any visioner in the house, on Facebook, Instagram, anywhere you are? Just say there. Just type there. Say I'm a visioner. If you have any visioner there, please let me know if you're joining me live now. All right. Parenting a teenager without connection will not just strain the relationship between you and your child. It will also make your ground a battleground. It will turn into a battlefield. It's going to be a war front. Oh, yeah. Coach, what are you saying? What is connection? Really? When you want to parent your teenager, and there is no connection between you, trust me, there is no gainsay. There is no other thing that you can add up that is going to make it make sense. You are always going to be on a war field. You are always going to be on the war ground. And this cannot be overemphasized. So when you parent a teenager without connection, maybe this lack of connection is due to maybe whatever factor that has led to lack of connection, maybe negative effect, distance, whatever it is, separation that has caused the lack of connection. It's always going to come with some effects. And these effects are what I'm going to be sharing shortly, so that you will decide if you still want to parent your teenager without connecting with them. In fact, we are talking about teenager now, but the truth is that you cannot actually parent any of your children or your child at any stage of life without connection. It is almost impossible to call yourself a visionary parent who is intentional on this journey of parenting without connection. However, our focus for this week is on teenagers. I'll be sharing the effect of when you think connection is not necessary, when you think you want to be a principality and power. Hello? Hey, because I've said it over the time that one of the mistakes that you can do as parent is to repeat the last mistake from the previous generation. One of the greatest mistakes is you not trying to learn and relearn what is required in this global, in this evolving generation. And you want to say, no, my daddy taught me like that in 1972. Continue. Hello. All right, we're going to be sharing the effect. So it's going to be up to you if it is one thing that you want to look into, if connection is going to be very important to you. And I'm not going to decide that for you. But I'm here to let you know the effect that you take the decision if you want to consider connecting with your teenager. All right. So there are several negative effects, both with teenagers and the parent. So the effect that can happen or that can occur is not just about the teenager. It can also be with the parent. So some of these effects may include emotional distance. And when we are even saying this point, a lot of people break it down more. What are you talking about? Hey, this is Parenting Essential. We have limited time and we cannot really break a lot of things down. We have short time. One of these effects is emotional distance. So without a strong connection, there may be emotional distance between you and your teenager. I mean, between the parent and the teenager. And this can lead to feelings of isolation. I'm just alone. It's okay. And I said something, I think last week, even I'm not certain if it is Parenting Essential, but one of my teachings last week, I said something. I said, when your child starts telling you that, mommy, don't worry, you don't understand. And you think it's a time for you to relax and just enjoy yourself. Okay. Because you feel, talking to your child is a burden. Okay, don't worry. Your teenagers kept telling you that, mommy, don't worry, you don't understand. And you think it's something to celebrate. That meaning has a lot of power. It's loaded with so many things that is going on in the mind of your teenager. So when you are not connected with your teenager, this emotional distance is going to create an isolation. The child will feel isolated. Anyways, mommy is not listening. Mommy is not, or daddy is not always there or doesn't care. But sometimes you just feel my child is understanding. She's understandable. It's understandable. You will not disturb. She will not disturb. No, it's not because they don't want to disturb you. It's not because they don't want to listen to you, but they are tired of your behavior. But because you are not a sensitive parent, you are not aware. You think the child is understanding, and that is why the child is letting you be. So that is a feeling of isolation, loneliness, detachment from both sides. So you think, oh, my child is understanding. She's 13 now. She's not going to disturb me after work. Hello, daddy. Hello, mommy. And you just feel, oh, you're proud of yourself. You're raising shoulders. It's a form of detachment between you two. Super daddy's in the house. We have you there. I know you have gone to work. You have labored. You are happy. But please be sensitive. Mommies, are you right there? Parenting waiting. Caregivers. Please pay attention to these things. The attachment is going to start coming. Loneliness is there. Isolation is going to be detachment from both sides. You are detaching from your child unknowingly. In the name of my child is understandable. All right, let's move fast because of time. The second effect that it can be communication barrier. When you're not connected with your teenager, this is going to create what is called communication barrier. Limited communication can result in communication barrier. You don't want to talk because you're busy. In fact, you have good reasons why you cannot talk. You have genuine reasons why you don't have the time to communicate with your teenager. Well done. But you have to know that this barrier, this communication issue is going to lead to something great. I was sharing last night in the hack, and I said to them, the child that you are not taking space in their life now, today, you will not be able to get space in their life tomorrow. You are enjoying the quietness, because you feel it's giving you peace. Be ready for the result when the time comes. And that is why we are shouting it out now, so that you don't start running on the things that you're supposed to have taken a step to solve. Effect of you not connecting with your teenager is what I'm talking about. So if you're just joining me, my name is Hoye, and this is Parenting Essential for the Vision Guide. All right, last week I started this topic, why your teenagers will not listen to you. And today I want to end it up and tell you some effect that comes with you, that come with lack of connection between you and your teenagers. So this lack is going to open a lot of things. You'll not be able to understand your teenagers' thoughts. You don't understand their feelings. You don't know what is their concerns. How they feel is not your business. You just go about and say, my child is very understandable, is very quiet. And this is going to be leading to misunderstanding. Sometimes the child already have the idea. It doesn't matter. Daddy, it doesn't matter. So be sensitive and don't celebrate a negative effect in the name of my child is understanding. Another effect that this can create is decreased trust. This is going to decrease the trust level. When we talk about trust level between parent and children, there is age frame for this. So when we talk about teenager who doesn't trust the parent or the caregiver, it is already a problem, because the age frame for trusting you as a parent or building trust between you is a special relationship. The age frame is long past. So if you are there at the stage that your teenagers cannot actually trust you, and most of these things happen because maybe they shared something with you and you know what, you think it's funny. Or they're trying to share their thought with you, but you feel like, oh, that's nonsense. Don't say that. This also happens when you don't allow them to share their emotions. When you don't give them room that they are entitled to their emotion. So all these things is going to create decrease in trust. So be careful. And this lack of connection is going to erode trust between the teenager and the parent. And what can you do without trust? When your teenager cannot trust you, how much can you do? How can you affect the life of your teenager positively without the trust? It's just like a noisemaker. Trust me. There's no other way to it. When your teenagers cannot trust you, you cannot effectively affect the life positively, because you are like a noise behind. In fact, not just a noise. Your words is going to be like a background noise. Is that the kind of parent you want to be? They cannot confide in you because you break the trust many times. They want to seek guidance, but you just twist it to something differently entirely. All right. Another effect of this is behavioral issue. Yeah. What else do you want the child to do actually? Can I just ask you, can I take a moment and think about it? After the child has gone through all this, what else do you want the child to do? So this is going to lead to a behavioral issue. Your teenagers will feel disconnected. Already they felt disconnected because there's no trust. So because you're a teenager now, you start behaving weird. It's not because the child is a teenager now. It's because you lack skill and you are not a sensitive parent. Or I'm just going to run. I just want to give you these tips and we're going to call it a day. Just know that these things are very, very risky. It's very dangerous. Because when you're looking into getting that space, it's not going to be available anymore. And this also it might be a very negative effect on the teenager, on your child, on the child. This behavior can lead to bad behavior for the child because now they don't have anybody to talk to. It can even lead to depression for the child. They start to they get rebellion. They get rebellious. So many things. They can start to take substances because one child is telling them, don't worry. My mom always do that. When I just smoke this, I'll be fine. Just leave this mommies, leave these daddies. That's what they do. Daddies don't have time. But we can always make ourselves happy. They start to listen to voices outside that they are not supposed to listen to because they need to, or they needed to hear something. They don't have choice. They just begin to suck in those negative voices because they need validation anyways. They are tired. Parents are not there to speak to them. So this effect can be terrible. So when you're not connected with your teenager, so the behavioral issue is almost cannot be stopped, because their peers are going to be there to give them resources, whatever they think that is going to help them. Another effect is emotional health and concern. I said, I've already mentioned depression. It's also about the health, right? When a child is depressed, what do you call that? It's not around. You come around. Your child is not talking. Don't worry. I'll just give you money. If I have money for you, there you will come around. That is what a lot of people call parenting. And when we say to people, parenting is a learned skill, the skill that you have to learn. They say, so do you want to tell me how to give my children money? Because all you know in quotes about parenting is spending money on your children. Be careful, because this effect can be terrible. It can be terrible. Another effect on the child can be academical struggle. They cannot focus in class again. They cannot concentrate. They're just distracted. You see an A child going to B, from B to C, and they start failing. And all you could do as a parent is to say, child, what happened to you? What happened to you? Not being sensitive in parenting is a crime. Can I say that again loud? Not being sensitive in parenting journey. If you think you are parenting, let me emphasize that. It's a big crime. To me, I said it. A child who is normally, we do fine academically, and all of a sudden, things started going out of hand. But as a parent or caregiver, you did not even think for the child. All you could think of is to shout on the child, and oh, are you now you don't read anymore. Now you are following friends. Can you just look around and take a moment? And that when we talk about paying attention to details, we are talking about all these things. Didn't I give you food? Why didn't you read your book? I gave you food. I gave you enough money to go to school every day. So give me one reason why you are failing. Aren't those your words? So let's be sensitive, especially when we are dealing with teenagers. And that's why the focus is on our teenagers. We have to be very careful. We cannot overemphasize the importance of connection with them. That is when we see when there is trouble. That is when we can get to know that there is fire on the mountain. If you don't know that there is fire on the mountain, there is nothing you can do to quench the fire. How? Only somebody that can see that there is fire, okay, let me look for something to quench the fire. But because you are insensitive, I'm talking about those kind of parents. And I'm not apologetic about that. You just feel, oh, the child is in trouble. I'm just going to shout. I'm just going to spank. Don't think because you are 14 now, I cannot beat you. You better come back home tomorrow, next time with A's. Hello. Are you building? Are you parenting? Or you are destroying these children that I personally call growing glory? What exactly are you doing? What are you doing with your children? I talk about the effect, and I've already said some of them will be taking substances. So this is one of the risks. You see some documentary, you see some things that are happening, you see 14 years already. If you know what he is saying, how did they get to that point? What happened? They have parents alive. 14 years, 15 years, 12 years. You see what they are taking, the substances. You see some girls, they say, in fact, I saw something years back and it bothers me so much. This girl was 14. I was saying, I want to sleep with 50 men in a day because I need to get pregnant within the next 3 months. How did we get to this point? What went wrong? See, let me tell you this, not to scare anybody. What is happening now is not, we haven't seen nothing yet. A lot are still going to happen, and we cannot stop it. The only thing we can stop is to prepare our own children for this happening. You can't stop the happening, but you can prevent your own children by preparing them with the skill that you have acquired from this happening. All right, I want to finish fast. I just want to use 30 minutes. One of the effects also is strain relationship. And I think I said something already similar. That's going to strain your relationship, not just with you. So it gets to a point, you think your child is giving you gap. See, that is one step. It gets to another point, they start keeping to themselves. They don't want to talk to friends. They don't want to talk to anyone. They don't want to talk to family. See, the fire on the mountain at this point, it's beyond fire. It has left the mountain and it's coming down the hill. And if the care is not taken, everyone will get burnt. Everyone will get burnt. My child is quiet. You start giving tag because you are not sensitive. You start saying you have changed, you have grown. You even see it as growth. Hello. Oh, you are growing. These days you don't even talk to anybody. I like it. I like it. You encourage, you reinforce the problem that the child is already having. You help the child to package the negative effects by saying, you know what, I can see you growing. That's what I love. You keep to yourself now. You don't just go out, even to talk to me, but I can see you are growing. Hey, be careful. Parents, be careful. One of the reasons why I'm going to say that again is happening and you are not having any idea is because you lack connection. You lack connection. Find all means, ensure that you are connected with your teenager. Another effect that this can bring when you lack connection with your teenager, the effect on you as parent is going to give you stress. You're going to be stressed out because you think in your own opinion, you are a very sensitive parent and you are an intentional parent. And you are trying to talk to your child. What is happening to you? What is this? All you do is a lot of talk. You have done a lot of talk, but you cannot see the results. And hence, you're going to be tired. I don't know what is happening to my child. And because you don't want to give up. When I listen to some parents, sometimes I just feel like some of these parents, can I just break your head and put something inside? You feel stressed and you have genuine points why what your child is doing is not right because you're doing everything in your own opinion to that child. So you get worn out. A lot of parents will even have high blood pressure at this point. I don't know why, but I'm talking to you. It's not about talking. Oh yeah, about what? Please get into the hack. You'll find out. It's not what you can find out here. It is not about shouting and ranting. It is beyond that. For you to create a connection with your child at any age, any stage at all, it's beyond about you yelling. It's not about, I talk to my child every time, but the child is not listening. You are the one giving yourself pressure. You are the one creating the blood pressure for yourself, not the child. Not the child. You just stress yourself emotionally. And you also shift them back to your child. Did you say now? Today I went to the doctor. The doctor said I have high blood pressure. I'm talking to you, you didn't listen. This is not good. I didn't do this for my parents. Is that you? Hey, you better run. Run. Something is running after you. Run fast as you can. Or I'm just going to give 2 more points and we are going to call it a day. Or I'll just give one or 2 more, then we go. All right. One of the effects also is it's going to impact the future relationship. Because you have encouraged the child, over the time, you have grown, you don't talk to people again, I like it. And because you really like it, you don't want anybody to disturb you in person, then the child is going to carry this baggage over the time and become an adult. And a lot of people ended up carrying this baggage into their marriage. By the time they cannot carry that baggage again, it's going to be too late. And they get to the wall and going to turn back because they didn't deal with it. And this particular thing has become trauma. It's a traumatized issue. And the husband will say, this is not the wife I married. And the wife will say, this is not the husband I married. Because it's an old baggage that has been carried over the years. It will get to a point that is going to be a limit that you cannot carry it again. So why are you waiting? Why not deal with it now? So let's go back to our teenager. Our job is to parent them right. Our job is to guide them so that they don't have a future that is going to bring about a lot of outpouring of trauma into their lives. Because if they start having this negative relationship effect on them now, it's going to impact their future. It will impact their future. This is not about being negative. It's about you being sensitive and doing what you need to do right now. All right. Do we have any question? Because I'm going to be rounding up shortly. I said 30 minutes and I'm going to keep the time. So we have to have that quality time with our teenager. It's very important. Ensure you always have that quality time. Don't always be in a hurry. Ensure you have that quality time. This adolescent stage, I said it last week, is a very sensitive stage. A lot of things are happening in their lives, and sometimes they don't even know how to handle it. Sometimes they cannot even express how they feel. So the only thing we can do at that time as a sensitive parent is to get the required skill to jack ourselves up and help our children. I always said, I'm going to say it again, that as our children are growing through ages and phases, developmental stages, it is very important for us to grow along with them. And one of the ways that we can grow along with our children is to get all the required skills that we need per stage, per phase. You have to be intentional about it. Just the way you want to build the other aspect of your life, your career, everything, that is the same way you should see your parenting as something that needs to be built. Because you're 5 years old today will not always be 5 years. It's a must. So overall, parenting your teenager without connection can have significant negative effects, both on you and your teenager. The impact can be so disturbing, can be an everlasting destruction if care is not taken. So be careful. All right, do you have any question? Because I am going to be rounding up now. Talking about teenagers, that make me, lest I forget that the fellowship for the teenagers registration is not stopping. It's a fellowship, so it's a continuous one. So if you have children that are teenagers, especially if you are 12 and they're 12 and they are turning 13, once they are 12, you can register them for this fellowship. It's TVTCF. TVTCF. That is the Visionary Teenagers Christian Fellowship. And the inauguration meeting is going to be next Friday. So if you have not registered your teenager, that means you have not gotten all the necessary information about this. Please do get your children on board. It is totally free. It is totally free. Let them connect to children around the world. We have registered children around the world, people from all over the world. Think about it. So just let them connect. And this is specifically for Christian. So if you're not a Christian, sorry, this is not for you. This is a Visionary Teenagers Christian Fellowship. Please register your children and look forward to their life being transformed, because all we want is for them to understand their purpose in life early enough. A lot of us are struggling now because we took time to understand who we are and what our purpose is all about. And we don't want to affect our children by letting them go through the same phase we went through. And that is why all this is coming together by the leading of God. All right, another thing is the Visionary Arc for the next batch for parent-child connection is going to be opening again. April 13 is going to be the induction night, and the registration is going to close on the 12th. Please note it. Once the registration closes on the 12th, nobody can get into the hack. There's nothing we can do about it, because I had a lot of people messaging me later, please just get him into there. I cannot get you into the hack, and there are reasons for that. The induction night is for a purpose. Once you miss the induction night, there is no way you can understand every other thing we want to do. So it's not because, oh, you just want to prove something. No. And if you want to think like that, it's totally fine. But please make sure you do your registration before the 13th, which is 12th of April. That is the last day for registration. Once the arc closes after the before the induction, and that is it. Please register. Put your name down. I believe I'm not sure it's been displayed, but we're going to be sharing the flyer. The same number, our official line. Please send message, book your slot, and I believe your life will not remain the same, especially when you have a lot of questions with what I'm saying, connection with this, connection with that. This is where you're going to learn out systematically how you're going to go about with your parenting, how the connection is going to be made easy, and you're going to see all the effect in every other aspect that you want to work on your children. All right. I just want to call it a day now. I want to say thank you for joining me, everybody on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, Facebook, The Vision Guide, Facebook, Olawiesta Oyelayo, and also on LinkedIn. I want to say thank you for joining me. And I'll be back again with another wonderful topic next week. And if you have any question, please feel free. You can send us a DM. And don't forget, the questions that a lot of questions, if not all, will be answered when you join the Visionary Hack. I can overemphasize that. All right, I want to say bye. Before I say bye, if you're just seeing my face for the very first time, once again, this is Parenting Essential with Oye, and it's coming to you from the Vision Guide every Saturday live. We are here, and we want to hold hands together on our intentional journey in parenting. And don't forget, as we go, that parenting must be purposeful, must be intentional, must be full of vision. And this vision is what is going to guide you jealously on this journey. All right, once again, thank you for joining me, and I will see you next week. God bless you.